Hi guys, Aaron from AaronB Fitness here. This video is like a box of cereal with a secret toy surprise. That's because in the description below are links to 2 free downloads to 2 of our favorite parts of the AaronB Fitness First Things First weight loss and fitness system. Ordinarily we charge for that, but we want you guys to have those right away to move you along on your weight loss and fitness journey. Let's talk. Hi guys, in the description below are links to free downloads to number 1, the Calculator, which is going to tell you exactly how many calories you burn every day. And number 2, the calorie counting tutorial chapter from the First Things First system, which teaches you how to easily and accurately count the calories that you consume every day. And when you put those 2 things together and ensure that you're eating fewer calories than you're burning, you'll be sure to lose weight. In the next portion of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the calculator, and I'm going to take you personally through the calorie counting tutorial chapter so that when you download your own copies for free, they'll be so easy for you to use. So let's turn to the screen capture of the calculator and the calorie counting tutorial. Hi guys. Okay, so here's your calculator. The calculator is going to tell you exactly how many calories you burn every day so that you can eat less and lose weight. There's a scientific formula built into the calculator which requires this information in order to tell you how many calories you burn. So you need to tell the calculator your weight, you need to tell the calculator your height, you need to tell the calculator your gender, you need to tell the calculator your age, and you need to tell the calculator about how much exercise you're going to be getting on a weekly basis. An exercise session is 30 to 45 minutes of elevated heart rate, which means your heart is beating faster than it normally does. So that counts even if you're walking the dog briskly, walking uphill, or more vigorous exercise like running on a treadmill or lifting weights. So for me, that's a good 3 to 5 times a week. And that means that my calorie burn each day is 2,776 calories. And as we've discussed, if I eat 500 calories less than that each day, I'll lose a pound of fat in a week. If I can be disciplined enough to eat 1,000 calories a day less than that, then I'll lose 2 pounds of fat each week. And a terrific feature of the calculator is that it includes this clear form button. You can click the button there, clear all the fields, so that you can share the calculator with your friends and family so that they can learn what their daily calorie burn is each day. And if they're interested in losing weight, ensure that they eat less than that. So be sure to go ahead and grab your calculator at the link in the description below. Okay guys. Now I'm going to take you through the calorie counting instructional tutorial chapter that's part of the First Things First system that you'll find at the AaronB Fitness website. Again, this is available for free download now in the link at the description below, and this taken together with the calculator will really get you on your way toward your weight loss goals. So there are 3 scenarios that you need to become familiar with in order to easily and accurately count your calories throughout the day so that you can ensure that you are eating less than the number of calories that the calculator says you're burning. Those 3 scenarios are, first, reading the nutrition labels that come on packaged food. Second is understanding how many calories are in the foods that don't come with nutrition labels that you prepare yourself. And the third scenario, and frankly the most challenging, is eating out, because it's often difficult to know what is in the food that's served to you when you're eating out. But we'll talk about each now. So we'll begin with understanding how to count calories for food that is packaged and comes with a nutritional label. That's the simplest scenario for understanding how many calories you're eating. So what you need to do is locate the label on the package, and you need to find 3 pieces of information on the label. You need to find the servings per container, you need to find the size of the serving, and you need to find the calories per serving. Now this is important. The calorie number, 90 in this case, is per serving. So there are 4 90-calorie servings of 1/2 cup in this food in the container. This happens to be a 4-serving container of low-fat dessert pudding. So now that we've located those 3 bits of information on the nutrition label, we'll know exactly how many calories we'll be eating when we serve ourselves some of this pudding. If you serve yourself a 1/2 cup, that's a single serving. That means you'll be eating 90 calories. Mark that down. If you choose to eat a little more and have a full cup, that'll be 2 servings. That means you've consumed 180 calories. If you eat the whole container, you've had 4 servings. That means that you'll have had 360 calories. You get the idea, and it's straightforward and accurate because you've been given the calorie count information on the nutrition label. Now, what about food that you buy that doesn't come packaged with nutrition labels? Well, that's not so hard either, because fortunately there's great online resources where you can go to look up any food and any portion size, and it will tell you how many calories are in that portion. So let's have a look at one of my favorite sites, Foodipedia, which is managed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So now we've clicked over to Foodipedia's website to check on the calorie count for virtually any food you might be interested in eating, and you can choose the portion size. So suppose we're going to have a side dish of broccoli, and it's going to be cooked with salt but no fat added. How about that level of detail? And let's say that our side dish is going to consist of 1 cup. Well, we know that that 1 cup of broccoli has 56 calories. So the point here being, this is almost as easy as your nutrition labels on your packaged food, because you know what you're eating, you know what you're putting in your recipes, and you can turn to Foodipedia, or you can check any other similar website online for the calories in virtually any food that you might buy from the grocery store or elsewhere, and put on your plate or in your recipes. But let's pause for a minute in discussion and talk a little bit about portion size. So in order to use the Foodipedia website accurately, or websites like it, you'll need to know what the portion is that you're including in your recipe or putting on your plate. So here's 3 recommendations for you to learn and get accustomed to assessing portion size. One of which is to get a hold of these portion size measurement tools. You've got the 1/2 cup, 1/4 cup, 1/3 of a cup, etc. And you've got the tablespoon, teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, etc. tools. So grab those online if you don't have a set, and you can use them when you measure your food. And you can also just start to get familiar with the volumes by sight so that you can accurately estimate the portion sizes that you're putting in your recipes or on your plate. Another great rule of thumb is the volume of a baseball. So most people have sort of an intuitive sense in their brain of the size of a baseball. And it turns out that the volume of a baseball is about 1 cup. And so, again, you can sort of use your intuitive sense when you're looking at a portion on your plate. Would that fill the size of a baseball? Is it about half that? And so forth. So you can have a feel for what fraction of a cup your portion is. When it comes to meats like lean red meats or chicken or fish, another handy reference, pun intended of course, is the palm of your hand. So it turns out that a meat portion such as fish or chicken or beef that is about the size and thickness of the average palm of a hand is 3 ounces of that meat. So when you're looking at a portion, you can reference the palm of your hand and get a sense for the portion size. So now we come to dealing with the challenges of counting your calories when you're eating out. And that can be quite difficult because you just don't know how the food was prepared and exactly what's in the recipe. And I wish there were a great solution and a satisfying solution. And you know at AaronB Fitness, we're always trying to find the simplest and least troublesome way to deal with making progress toward your goals. But I'm afraid to say that when it comes to trying to count your calories accurately when eating out, there's just a bit of sacrifice that we all need to make. And that is, the general rule is, you gotta order plain. And that's because if you order plain, and I'll explain what that means, then you will know how the food was prepared and exactly what's in it. And then you can turn to your resources like Foodipedia, and you'll know how many calories you've consumed. So what does it mean to order plain when we're eating out? So that we know what's on our plate, and therefore we can turn to our resources like Foodipedia and know how many calories are in what we're consuming. Well, I've got 3 rules for you. One is the dressings and the sauces are always a big part of the mystery. Do they have butter in them or don't they? Do they have oil in them or don't they? What about cream, etc.? And all those sorts of things can throw the calorie needle dramatically one direction or another, so you just don't know. So the solution is rule number 1, order your sauces and dressings on the side. And the great approach there is, then when you eat the food, you can dip your fork in the sauces and dressings and still get the flavor without consuming much of them. And then they won't dramatically affect your calorie count. So that's rule number 1, sauces and dressings on the side. You don't need to be completely deprived. Dip your fork, then poke it in the food, and you'll get the flavor. Rule number 2, avoid dishes that are breaded or battered or fried. For 2 reasons. One is, those will tend to be much higher calorie dishes. And 2 is, it's difficult to know how many calories are in the breading or the batter or the oil that's absorbed by the frying process. So simply avoid those dishes or ask the waiter if they can be prepared without the breading, battered, or fried. And that relates to rule number 3. Rule number 3 is, for vegetables and meats and fish, order without butter, without sautés, without sauce. Order prepared steamed, poached, or broiled. If you follow rule number 1, rule number 2, and rule number 3, then you'll know exactly what's on your plate, and it'll tend to be low calorie, and it'll be something you can count calories for using resources such as Foodipedia or similar websites. So we've covered the 3 scenarios that you need to be familiar with in order to easily and accurately count your calories as you dine throughout the day. That is, now you know how to read a nutrition label, count the calories there. Now you know how to look up the calories of food online with resources like Foodipedia for food that doesn't come with a nutrition label. And you're familiar with how to assess portion sizes so you can get those calorie counts right. And third, you know how to order at a restaurant so that the food is somewhat plain, but in addition, you'll be able to easily and accurately count the calories because you'll know what's on your plate and you'll be able to look it up using your resources such as Foodipedia. So now you know how easy and fun it is to use the calculator and how to easily and accurately count your calorie consumption throughout the day. So download those 2 things for free from the links below in the description. And give us your comments, what you like, what you don't like, and most importantly, what you want to hear more about. That's what we're here for. And we've got great content coming out every week, so hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. And most importantly, we want to tell you that we really appreciate you tuning in.